Good morning, good morning, good morning. Good morning. So we're about, let's see, 4 minutes ahead of the schedule, which is always great because guess what? When you're on time, you can have a little bit of moving space, if you will. You can have a little bit of opportunity to do the things that you need to do, right? And so we are starting on time this morning. We're going to get in here and we're going to talk a little bit. We're going to share with you a little bit. We're going to just give what we want to expound to some of you and even give some of you encouragement on this morning. Hopefully every morning when you see us, you will have that moment of encouragement while you can begin to see some things that you need to do for your life and in your life. And so it's been a while, and so let me go ahead and put this disclaimer out there. There's a very possibility that you will not. Let me say that again. You will not see me every morning, but you will see me as many mornings as my body will allow. Okay, my body will allow. So you got to be on. We as people have to be honest about mental health and physical health and emotional health and all of those things because it's very important. It's extremely important that in this season, at this time in our life, that we actually begin to walk into those things that God has prepared for us, right? And the thing is, when we walk, though, we don't walk so quickly that we miss everything that's happening in our day, right? And so just let me tell you that I might not be on here every day. I might not be on here every morning, but I will be on here as many mornings as the body will allow. I'm still not back on my public job yet, even though those jokers want to bombard me into coming back. The body's got to be in control of all of that. And good morning, Loretta. Oh, my bestest from the way back west. It's good to have you with me again in my life. Miss Sharon, thank you so much for joining. Go out there and tag some friends and tell them that we're here, we are ready, we're getting ready to get started. Today is February the 1st. February the 1st. Hey Tyrone, how are you? Today is February the 1st. It's the beginning of February. It's the beginning of something new, right? And so many of you know Loretta, maybe guys that are just now joining with me. Those of you that were behind the scenes, thank you. Come on in, come on in. Michelle B. Hammond's in the house. Uh-oh. You know it's all about Michelle B. Hammond when she can say, what? Seize the moment. All right, my girlfriend, good to have you all with me on this morning. So many of you know I have not been on a regular basis in the mornings, and part of that is because of the lingering long haul of COVID, right? I contracted COVID in September, and so the body is still fighting against some things. And but we're here, right? So you may see me drink some water, which is one thing that I try not to do when I'm doing a live, and you might see me cough, but that's, yeah, hey, it's a part of the game, right? It's what we do. But this morning I wanted to come and I want to talk to you because it's February the 4th. It's one of my favorite months for a couple of reasons. My baby girl's birthday is on February the 4th, which is Friday. So it starts the whole trend. So this morning I'm coming to talk to you about something very simple. Very simple, but it takes a lot of us a lot of energy to get to where we need with it, right? And so this morning I want to talk to you about starting. I want to talk to us this morning about starting. And as you can see behind me, I have 3 things that are listed, right? So go ahead and get your pen and paper ready because we're going to talk about 3 specific things about starting. So in everything that we do, and as a master life coach, I am certified in several different areas. But one of the things, hey Thelma, thanks for joining. When I tell you that one of the things that I am certified in is life purpose. I'm also certified in transformation. I'm certified in mindset, and I'm also certified in spirituality. Well, how many of you know this already, that I started off in spirituality a whole lot earlier than I got certified, right? But one of the things I can tell you in this process of being a master certified life coach is this. As your professional facilitator, your achievement facilitator, my job is to help you get to that next level. That's right. My official title is a professional achievement facilitator because I'm going to help you get to that next place, right? So that's right, Michelle, February is the month. And so when I tell you that when we start talking about starting, you have to understand that you have to meet your destiny, right? For the last couple of Sundays, we've been talking about this on Uncensored Conversation, and you're going to want to watch because Michelle Hammond is coming to Uncensored at the end of the month. But when I tell you, one of the things that we've been talking about on Uncensored is this: divine destiny, right? Divine destiny. January and February is Divine Destiny Month for Uncensored. So when I tell you that when you think about your destiny, it begins somewhere. One of the things that we teach you as master coaches, not just coaches, but master certified coaches, is that we teach you about this very thing, right? Setting goals and meeting them. Setting goals and meeting them, right? So when we start talking about starting, what does that really mean? So there's 3 aspects of starting, and we want to talk about that because in order to meet your divine destiny, there's some things that you've got to understand. And the first thing is starting fresh. That's the first thing on the board. Starting fresh. And you say, well, what does that mean exactly? How do I start fresh? Well, this is the thing. You get up and you do it, right? You get up, you take your shower, you do whatever you have to do, but you start fresh. Every day is a new day. It's a new day of opportunities, right? So many of us have gone through so many losses. My good friend Loretta, her mother recently passed, and she was an amazing woman. But one of the things that she always taught us, as you know, as I was one of those kids that she used to go around her, one of those things that she taught us was to never stop and never give up. But she always allowed us to know that it was okay to start over again as long as you started with a purpose, right? You started with something fresh in your mind. You started with something that has to be done. One of the things that I want to encourage you on is to always start fresh. Every day is a new day of opportunity. Every day is something that you can create, right? Sometimes we get so bogged down because of something that we didn't accomplish yesterday, or we see that people are now attracting to us like we want. That's okay, because the people that's supposed to be around you, the people that are supposed to be in your circle, it will be attracted to you according to what you have a divine purpose in your life for. That divine destiny in you is built upon you. It's not built upon anybody else. Starting fresh means that you can wake up in the morning and you can say, look, what didn't happen yesterday just wasn't for me. Right? Yesterday was one of those days where I had a iffy moment, right? Because if you've ever had COVID, and some of you that are long haulers know what I'm talking about, some days the body wants to go 100 miles a minute, but you can only go 72. You can only go 50, right? But the thing is, when you're starting afresh, it doesn't matter what speed you go. It just matters that you start fresh. You create a whole new atmosphere where you're starting fresh. You're thinking about these things on a different level. So today is February the 1st, 2022, right? It's a new opportunity for you to start fresh. It's the 2nd month of the new year. Ask yourself, what can you accomplish today that you didn't accomplish yesterday? Ask yourself, can I begin this new process? Do I have the energy? Can I be honest with you? Sometimes you got to go without the energy, right? My energy right now is keeping myself hydrated. It's keeping my mind fresh. It's allowing myself to exercise when I can. And if I can't, it's okay. But the thing is, when you're starting fresh, it doesn't matter. See, the thing is, sometimes what happens with us is that we get so upset about what we didn't accomplish yesterday. We get so upset about the fact of the matter that, it didn't come out like we wanted it to. Can I be honest with you? That's a great thing. I know it doesn't feel like that. I can tell you, sometimes those starting fresh moments doesn't feel good. It feels like you're sinking. It feels like you're drowning. But to start fresh is a new opportunity for you, right? The second thing I want to tell you about is starting all over again. Okay? Starting over. Number 2 is starting over, right? You start fresh, right? It didn't work out. You went to bed with a whole opportunity in your mind. It just didn't work out. You went into that relationship thinking it was the best relationship in the whole heck of the world. It didn't work out. Hey, John. It started off, you started thinking, you went to college. Hey, rather, remember us? We went to college, but it just wasn't for us, right? So we had to, we put it to the side. We started that business, but we just didn't have everything that we needed to start right. You put it down. You start thinking about moving on without it. You start doing everything that you need to do, but you say, I'm not going to do it with anything, right? You just put it to the side. You say, I'm giving it up. I'm throwing in the towel. How many of us have thrown in the towel only to have to go back and pick it up? Raise your hand, right? I told my students last night a bunch of things. But one thing I want to encourage you all, along with me and my students, is this. It's okay to start over. Nothing beats a failure but someone who doesn't start over. See, we think that if we start over that it means that we're failures. That's not the case. Starting over means that you have the energy. Starting over means that there's something inside of you that's burning on the inside. There's something on the inside of you that's speaking to your heart. It's speaking to your atmosphere. When God gives you a gift, see, when there's an appointment that you have got to make, it doesn't matter. See, some of you are talking about know the assignment. Some of you don't even know what an assignment is. Because if you woke up this morning, that was your first assignment. You're able to start all over again. See, one of the things that I'm learning about my breathing is that I have to learn how to start it all over again. There's some days that the actual feeling inside feels tough, it feels hard, but it has to start over again. How many of you have put everything down and you said, I'm not going to do it? You gave it up. You said it didn't matter. It didn't feel good. It didn't look good. It didn't even stand as long as you wanted to. Some of us that have been single for quite some time, this is one of the things that I will talk about with singles is this. Sometimes we give it in. We throw in the towel and we say, guess what? I'm not going to do it again. I'm not going to get married again. I'm not going to date again. I'm not. Hey, Linda, thanks for joining. When I tell you that one of the things that when you start relationships, and see, as a relationship coach, because I'm certified in that too, one of the things that you got to understand that relationships don't start when you meet Mr. Right or Mrs. Right. It doesn't start then. Starting over in a relationship means that you've gotten rid of the excess baggage of your own self. Woo. Thank you, God. Starting all over again. The song back in the day says, starting all over again is gonna be rough. I'm me remixing it. So tough, but you're gonna make it. See, the thing is, when you're starting over, it gives you an opportunity to look at the mistake that you made and not repeat them. It means that you can actually look at where you are right now and not repeat the negative in your life. Starting all over again means that you have learned some of the tests that you thought you didn't learn. Starting all over again is a true process of strength and energy. Do you not know when you get up in the morning after a rough day and you say, I'm going to try it again? One of the things that I learned while I've been sick in September, the whole month of September, I was on my back. Many people thought I had just went off the scenes and wasn't going to come back into my lives. That's not what happened. September 3rd, I woke up going to get vaccinated, got to the doctor's office, and guess what happened? I had COVID. The next few weeks after that was traumatic. It took every energy every day to cough, and breathe. But it was starting over, right? Hey, Bishop Harrison, one of the things that God allowed me to see through that process was that you can go back to your first love. You can go back to the things that empowered you, that strengthened you. One of the things that I tell my students is the building the self has to go deeper inside. It's the inside of you. It's what's going to make you push. It's that place right there. It's that place. That place on the inside of you. That space that you have that keeps on pushing. So the reason why we start over again, Hey, Monique. The reason why we start over again is for people like Monique Johnson. Monique is a good friend of mine, and you're going to see her come back on to Uncensored. She's a beautiful singer, author of music, and all of those beautiful things. But one of the things that Monique said to me the other day, or she texted me yesterday, was, when are you coming back? I miss it. And I had to think about it, because one of the reasons why I had kind of stopped was because I wanted to come back with my energy level on another high, right? And then I read her message. And then I went back to a good friend of mine who passed recently, Maria DeShajo. Some of you may know her. One of the things that Marie would always do for me is that she would always leave me a message after a live, and she would say, go girl, do that thing. One of the messages I read from her the other day, because she had passed, was that she said, you don't ever quit, Victoria. She says, somebody's out there needing you. And I remember writing a message to her and saying, Mary, you just don't understand. Some days, I just feel like I'm starting all over again. And she said, that's good. Start over again, because somebody needs you. Hey, Kim, when I tell you starting over again is a challenge, starting over again means that you have the energy, the breath in you, that's saying you can keep on going. Starting all over again is gonna be tough. So tough, but you're gonna make it. See, many of us are looking at these very moments when we're seeing people that are going through their struggles. See, the thing is, you don't have to wait for something tragic to happen to bring you back to reality. Let me tell you, losing loved ones, and I'm telling you, these last few weeks, it's been back to back with friends and family, right? But when I tell you, starting over means you got another chance, another opportunity. See how fresh start starts? It's another opportunity. Starting over again is a whole different fresh start. Starting over means you can do the checklist, and you can see those things that didn't matter to you, right? When we're starting over in relationships, what do? We start saying, oh, I'm not going to do what I did with Bob last time. I'm not going to do what I did with Sally last time. We start going through that, right? That's right, Monique. There's nothing wrong with starting over. See, the thing is, when you're in relationships, you try to outdo. That's not what you're doing when you're starting over. You're getting better. You're not trying to outdo. You're trying to do better. Because starting over means that you learn some lessons. Starting over means that you have the opportunity to push the pause button and move forward. That's right, Monique. Sometimes starting over is just a place that you put a pause, a period on. Starting over isn't meaning that you failed. Starting over means that you have something greater for you to accomplish. Starting over in my business, because many of you may not know this, but back in the day when I was living in Martinsville, I had another business. It was called KKT Business and Wedding Services. I did wedding veils. I did, hey Timothy, I did all of these other things. I kind of made some, I made wedding veils, and I made flowers. I still do some bouquets and stuff of that nature. But one of the things that I named it after my girls. So the thing is, when I started that business back then, I didn't have any idea of what I wanted to do. Didn't have a clue, y'all. I just knew that I liked what I did. I saw what I thought about what I saw. See, this is the thing. Yeah, Joyce Meyer's book is really good. When I tell you that, yes, Joyce Meyer's book says you can be born again. But there's also a place that you have to begin to understand that you have been created for something. What's inside of you It's got to come out. It's got to spring forward. Starting all over again gives you that opportunity. I want to tell you about my last start, and then we're going to have to close because I made a promise to myself. Hey, Shakita, thanks for watching. When I tell you, starting means you have to start with an intention. You have to have a true intention, a true purpose of why you're starting. See, many of the reasons why some of us are messed up in relationships is because we didn't have an idea what a relationship was. As I was going through the process of being certified as a life coach, as a master coach into relationships, one of the things that I remember reading the material over, and I was like, you know what? This is totally not what they told us about relationships, right? Because there was no substance, there was no purpose. When you're starting, there must be a purpose, right? One of the things with goal setting is, why are you doing it? I used to didn't like the why. Why do you have to ask the question why, right? But when you're starting, that has to be purpose. That's number 3. Starting with a purpose. That's number 3. Starting with a purpose, with a true intention. You just don't get up. That's my grandson. He starts with a full intention every morning. It is to brighten up the day with his presence. See, you got to have a reason why you're starting. You got to have an intention. You got to have a purpose, right? As a purpose coach, one of the things that I've got to make sure that we understand is, why am I doing this? What is the outcome? What is the goal? What is it that I really want to see at the end? I told you February is Divine Destiny Month, right? What is your purpose? What is it that you truly want to establish? What is it that you know in your heart that God is burning you on the inside with? One of the things that I can tell you that God continues to burn, that God brought back to my attention when I was on my back sick. And that thing was going back to what I love. Going back to where he started me with. Going back to something that meant purpose, that had purpose and it had destiny. And that was to help other people not lay in the same mud that they were in. Because when you are elevated and not tolerated, let me give my little tagline, because it's not necessary to give it all the time. But let me give it to you for those of you that are new to watching. Elevated, not tolerated means to rise above anything and everything that has held us down and has caused us to feel inadequate. And it's done so unpleasantly. But my friend, with you and I together, we rise above all of that. That's what elevated, not tolerated means. When I was laying on my back in the middle of September, God reminded me. He said, go back to what you really love. Go back to that place of purpose. Okay, somebody better catch my water. Go back to the place of purpose. Whew. So you got to understand that your place of purpose is that place of peace. When you're starting, it's got to have a destiny. It's got to have purpose. It's got to be intentional. When I got up this morning, my intention was, I'm going to do this live because people are waiting on me to do what God has instructed me to do, and that is to elevate you to your next. To talk about those relationships and how starting all over again is going to give you purpose to your place. And that place is called peace. So you got to understand. I feel my hip coming on. See, you got to understand, when you get to that place called peace, nothing around you is going to be able to hinder you. See, the thing is, when I realized that my peace, my first thing of the peace is peace. You got to have peace in what you're doing before anything else can happen. Somebody help me. Somebody call my daddy and tell him that I feel my daddy's anointing. So you got to understand, when you are clothed with a gift, when you are clothed with purpose, when you are clothed with intention, when you are clothed with destiny, something begins to take hold to you. My purpose and my destiny comes with all of the things that I had to go through to get where I am right now. I'm speaking to you, my brother, my sister, this morning. Do start. Start all over again. Start with intention. Start all over again because you have purpose. Start all over again because guess what? You can be fresh. Starting all over again may be hard, may be tough, may be rough, but one thing you can't beat is someone who starts. I don't care how you start. I don't care when you start. I'm telling you, I'm going to be 60 this year. I'm going to live to see it. The devil cannot confuse you. He cannot take anything from you. But what you have is your purpose. Loretta, I feel Mother Elizabeth on me right now. When I tell you that you got to keep moving. One thing Mama Elizabeth taught us to keep moving. That woman would sing the circles around heaven and back again. Why? Because she never stopped. One thing that she instilled, like my mom and my dad, is that you don't quit. Because what God has deemed for you to be, it shall come to pass. You got to understand that even in this moment, some of us are going through periods of sadness. Some of us are going through periods of depression. And some of us are going through mental anguish. And some of us are going through the depths of not understanding why we can't. I want to encourage you today that because of who you are, stand on your purpose. When God said, go back to your love, go back to your first love, I'm bringing all of the other things that you need. I'm going to provide you with everything that you need. If you can stand on your purpose, you got to understand that your divine destiny is built upon what God has designed for you. The devil is a lie. I shall breathe. The oxygen will come. The oxygen will stay. See, the enemy got jokes, but God got a plan. The enemy will put up roadblocks, but God still got a plan. When I tell you, when I think of the goodness of Jesus, when I think of all that he has done for me, it doesn't matter if this breath seems shorter than the other one. I'm not going to quit. I'm not going to stop. I need you in my life. I need you to understand that because of who you are, you can't quit. Monique, thank you. Mary in the heavens, thank you. To those that have been reaching out and saying, when are you coming back? Thank you. Because the prayers of the righteousness has purpose for my destiny. I ain't got time for jokers. I got time for purpose. I got time for my peace. Because where I'm going in this season, ain't no need to worry what tomorrow's gonna bring. It'll be all over in the morning. That's your purpose. In the morning. It'll be all over in the morning. So you got to understand that when you're dealing with your divine destiny and your divine purpose, starting all over again is gonna be tough. So tough. But we're gonna make it. So you gotta understand that it didn't start, it wasn't just by coincidence, but it was by happenstance of God that your purpose was built around so many things. See, sometimes you get all worried about the pain. Can I be honest with you? The pain is gonna help you get to your purpose. The pain, the losses will help you get to your purpose. You got to understand that starting is a place of peace. I know it don't feel good. I know. Retta, you know. You know, Retta. My Elizabeth taught us some things. Our parents taught us some things. But what I can tell you is this pain that we experience right now is going to impact our purpose. Don't get it confused. Ain't no need to worry what tomorrow's gonna bring. It'll be all over in the morning. All right, guys, I gotta go. I gotta relax the voice. I gotta take the medicine and all of that stuff all over again. Hey, Leslie, I gotta take all my medicine and all that stuff. But today, start fresh. Start all over again. And start with a purpose. Don't let anything stop you. And remember, share this, like it, replay it, show it to people. Tell them I'm back. Because guess what? I'm elevated and not tolerated. We'll see you real soon.